Hey, it's Brian from BlueMac 3D to show you how to install our reverse camera light for Jeep JL. If your Jeep left the factory with the Extreme Recon package, our kit installs on the bottom of the bezel. For Jeeps without the Extreme Recon package, our kit installs on top of the bezel. If your Jeep's spare is not the one that came with it, set the kit in place by hand on the bezel first to make sure there's enough clearance. The BlueMac 3D bracket ships assembled. Unbolt the light pod from the bracket and remove the camera bezel from your Jeep. The bolt holes in the bracket are the drill templates. We recommend marking and drilling one hole at a time while holding the bracket firmly against the bezel to ensure perfect fitment. Use an 1/8 inch bit to mark the first hole. Remove the bracket, then drill through the bezel using a 5/32 bit. Use one of the supplied hardware to bolt the bracket to the bezel. Then mark the other side, remove the bracket again, and drill the second hole through. Install the bracket onto the camera bezel. An Allen key with a ball end comes in handy here. Then route the wiring through the bracket and install the light pod onto the bracket. When assembling the connectors, note that terminal A in the plug is for the black wire and B is for the white wire. Push the pins into the connector until they click into place. Then lightly pull on them to ensure that they are locked in before folding the retainer clip down into the locked position. Place the bezel and light assembly onto the camera and route the connector wiring plug through the spokes of the spare wheel. Use the supplied pry tool to pop the tailgate trim cover off. Note that some of the clips may stay attached to the cover and some may stay in the door. Push the connectors together until they snap and click. Run the cable through the center vent flap in the tailgate at the bottom corner and follow the existing harness forward. Be sure to leave enough working slack in the cable outside of the tailgate for future removal of the spare tire. Use the supplied zip ties to secure the cable to the existing harness. You can run it like this all the way into the body if you like. If you want to obsess over details and hide the cable completely like we do, you can carefully cut a slice in the sheathing where it would still be hidden by the tailgate trim and inside the Jeep where it would still be hidden by the quarter panel trim, then work the cable through the sheathing. Use the pry tool to remove the cover for the tail light retaining bolt on the top rear corner of the quarter panel trim. Then use the T40 Torx from your Jeep toolkit or a 10mm socket to loosen the fastener. Pull the tail light housing away from the body, pull back on the red locking clip, then squeeze the clip to release the plug from the light housing. The body of the Jeep is very well sealed and routing a cable out to the tail lamp is a bit tricky. We snip a small slice in the tail light harness grommet and supply you with a monster zip tie to poke through the grommet and fish your way over to the back of the trim. Pulling the weather sealing back helps. Be sure to route the cable away from the movement of the tailgate hinge. Then wrap the end of the cable onto the end of the zip tie with electrical tape. Slowly draw the zip tie and cable back until the end of the cable is inside the tail light housing recess. Be sure that the cable is not too tight and it has some slack in it. Jeep wiring diagrams show the black wires are ground. The passenger reverse light wire is white with the violet colored stripe. If you're connecting on the driver's side, reverse light power is white with the beige stripe. In our case, the trailer package jumper was easy to tap into, but all of the wires are white on our plug, so testing came in handy even though we had the diagram. Loosely reinstall the tail lamp housing, then check the reverse lights for function. If you're working in daylight or under bright shop lights, this is a task that could really use a helper or some reflections to verify, as the reverse lights won't work on some Jeep models with the engine off unless there's a person sitting in the driver's seat. Tighten the tail light retaining bolt, reapply the weather stripping, and snap the trim back into place while carefully lining the clips up with their receiving points. For more information on this or to see more innovative products for late model Jeep, visit our website at bluemac3d.com.